My beloved child, the heaviness you carried when you woke this morning is not necessarily a sign that you are surrendering. Sometimes it is a gentle warning that you have traveled too long on exhausted strength and need to stop before you injure yourself further. I know the sigh escaped from you even before you found the courage to leave your bed. You looked upon a new day but felt no excitement. Only the same responsibilities waiting in line, unresolved questions, and a road that seemed unchanged. Do not condemn yourself for that moment. Weariness does not make you weak, and your inability to continue at the same pace does not mean you have failed. There are times when God does not urge you to move faster. He places a pause upon the road to prevent you from going deeper into a place that would leave you even more depleted. I want you to listen calmly, without panic and without denying what you feel. Prolonged heaviness may come from stress, lack of sleep, unhealed pain, or a health concern that requires attention. If it continues, disrupts your ability to function, leaves you feeling hopeless, or brings dangerous thoughts, seek help from someone trustworthy and from a qualified professional. Receiving support does not make your faith smaller. I never teach you to use spiritual language to conceal pain that needs care. Yet within the deeper meaning of this moment, there is something you must recognize. Perhaps the old rhythm of your life has reached its limit, and the stagnation you see is an invitation to step out of a way of living built only upon forcing yourself to endure. For a long time, you lived as though everything depended upon you. You tried to open doors that refused to move, persuade people who had already decided not to understand, and rescue relationships that survived only because you continued carrying them alone. You believed that if you worked a little harder, endured a little longer, and sacrificed a little more, everything would eventually return to its proper place. But, my child, some things cannot be healed by exhausting yourself. Some doors remain closed, not because you have not tried enough, but because nothing behind them can nourish your future any longer. Some plans are delayed not to shame you, but to keep you from entering while your heart is confused and vulnerable to accepting less than the dignity you have been given. Remember the moment you sat motionless on the edge of your bed, your phone in your hand, while your mind wanted to receive nothing more. Perhaps a notification appeared. An appointment was waiting. Or you simply watched time move forward without knowing where to begin. That numbness frightened you. You believed you had returned to the beginning and would again have to fight feelings you thought you had already overcome. Yet not every slowing down is regression. A person climbing a mountain sometimes must remain still to recover their breath. Not because they want to turn back, but because continuing while dizzy may cause them to fall from the path. Your pause today may also be an act of protection. I have seen you live through many days like a driver moving through fog while pressing the accelerator because you were afraid of arriving late. You could not see clearly ahead. Yet you believed that stopping would disappoint everyone. You became accustomed to proving your worth through busyness and believing that you deserved love only when you were continually useful. Therefore, when your body and mind could no longer obey your demands, you immediately felt guilty. But God does not measure your value by the number of tasks you complete in one day. He does not leave you when you need rest. He does not regard you as a burden simply because today you do not have enough strength to appear as strong as usual. Perhaps what He is removing is not your future, but the false belief that you must rescue everything by never allowing yourself to become tired. You made many plans, But not every altered plan is a disaster. Sometimes a cancelled meeting prevents you from making an unwise decision. A slowly opening door allows you to notice details that impatience would have overlooked. A day that does not unfold as expected may force you to confront your true condition rather than continuing to use work to escape pain. You see only the inconvenience of being stopped. But God may see what is waiting ahead, an argument you are not calm enough to handle. An invitation that appears attractive but contains misdirection. Or a new burden you do not yet have the strength to carry. In love, He sometimes closes a path before you recognize the danger. Do not believe that your former self is being discarded because it no longer has value. Who you once were helped you survive a difficult season. Vigilance protected you. Independence helped you remain standing. And endurance kept you from collapsing. Yet tools suited for a battlefield may not be suited for the garden you are about to cultivate. If you bring constant suspicion into a safe relationship, you will distrust even someone who sincerely loves you. If you carry the habit of doing everything alone into a season of cooperation, you will reject the hands sent to support you. If you continue calling rest laziness, you will destroy the strength required for your long-term mission. Therefore, the new season does not deny your past. It simply requires you to release survival methods that have completed their purpose. Perhaps what quietly happened this morning was that you stopped negotiating with exhaustion. For one brief moment, you no longer wanted to force yourself to continue as though nothing were wrong. You admitted that your present way of living could not continue forever. This was not the voice of failure. It may have been the beginning of honesty. Profound change rarely begins with a great declaration. It often begins with one small sentence within, "I cannot continue treating myself this way." When you speak that truth, you begin opening the door to another rhythm of life. One in which responsibilities are still fulfilled, but you no longer sacrifice yourself to chaos, and in which kindness remains present without requiring you to abandon yourself. I want you to look at what is being interrupted without rushing to restore it at any cost. If a plan continually steals your peace, examine the motive behind it. If a relationship exists only when you apologize, even though you have done nothing wrong, re-establish the boundary. If your work is causing you to collapse, seek adjustment, request support, or prepare a wiser direction. Do not make extreme decisions while deeply exhausted. But neither should you continue dismissing repeated warning signs. Peace is not the avoidance of every difficulty. Peace is the ability to face truth without allowing fear to force you back into an old cycle. My beloved child, the transformation you need is not a mysterious timeline collapsing around you, but an old inner structure gradually losing its control. It is the structure that taught you slowing down meant losing. Saying no was selfish, and seeking help was weakness. When those beliefs begin to crack, you may feel disoriented because, although they wounded you, they were familiar. Be patient with this process. Do not rush to fill the emptiness with an even more crowded schedule. Allow stillness to show you what truly needs to remain and what has reached its time to end. Therefore, today you do not need to force yourself to become a perfect version of who you think you should be. Begin with what is nearest. Drink water. Eat a nourishing meal. Step into the light. Call someone safe. And complete one important task instead of trying to do everything. Rest before your body forces you to stop. Pray not to escape your emotions, but to receive clarity as you move through them. Allow plans to change without interpreting that as proof that life is against you. What belongs to your future will not be lost because you spend one day recovering. I am here to keep you gently from rushing back toward an old road merely because it is familiar. This delay may be a boundary of mercy. This pause may be saving you from a decision created by exhaustion. You have not been left behind. You are being invited to return to yourself. Reorder what matters, and learn how to move forward without continuing to wear yourself away. Place your feet upon the floor when you are ready, not with pressure to conquer the entire world today, but with determination to take the next healthy step. The new season does not need you to arrive there broken. It needs you to enter with awareness, peace, and a heart that has finally understood that it too deserves care. Understand clearly that the 3 seconds in which you chose to pause were not weak hesitation, but the moment you transferred judgment from hands trembling with hurt and placed it in the hands of a higher justice. When you are insulted, instinct often urges you to answer immediately. Prove that you are right, and make the other person taste the pain they caused. Yet you did not obey the voice of anger. You stopped, breathed deeply, and refused to become the judge in a case where emotion was obscuring your vision. That moment broke the old pattern. Instead of passing sentence yourself, you quietly said, "I do not need to reclaim justice by losing my peace." You handed the record of your pain to the one who sees what was spoken and the motives hidden beneath it. The part of the story you know and the portions you cannot yet see. This was not passivity. It was an active expression of trust. There is a great difference between endurance, born from fear, and silence born from knowing where you stand. A fearful person remains silent because they believe they have no voice. A mature person remains silent because they understand that not every voice must be used immediately. You did not give power to the person who wounded you by allowing them to determine your words, your attitude, or the person you would become. When you refused to answer bitterness with bitterness, you withdrew from the chaotic courtroom of the world, where the loudest speaker is often treated as the victor. You entered another order, where truth does not need to scream in order to exist. Justice does not depend upon the speed of your reaction, and honor is preserved through self-control rather than revenge. You did not lose when you put down your phone. You had just defeated the temptation to use your own wound to create another wound. I want you to see that silence as placing a treasure into a protected place. That treasure was your peace, dignity, and freedom to choose. If you reacted in anger, you might have surrendered those precious things into the hands of someone who did not know how to value them. But when you paused, you kept them safe. You did not give a message, a memory, or an accusation, permission to destroy your entire day. Nor did you allow one angry moment to write consequences that could last for months. That brief pause became a door through which wisdom could enter. It gave you time to distinguish what needed to be said, what should remain untouched, and what needed to be addressed after emotion had settled. Sometimes, the right response is not the fastest response, but the one spoken from a heart that has returned to order. When you chose stillness instead of noise, you no longer moved according to the chaotic rhythm dominating the world around you. The world often encourages people to react immediately, expose everything publicly, and wound first before they can be wounded again. But you chose another road. You lowered the noise outside so that you could hear the voice of discernment within. It was there, that I recognized the sound of mercy rising from you. In your restraint, I heard something familiar. Strength that does not need to display itself. Power that does not need to prove itself. And love that refuses to allow evil to shape its behavior. I rose not because you were powerless, but because you used your freedom to choose something nobler than temporary satisfaction. You could have wounded, but you did not. You could have exposed, but you waited. You could have turned pain into a weapon, but you laid it down. The adversary knows it is difficult to remove what has been placed deeply within you. So, it tries to make you forget who you are through prolonged tension. It creates noise, urgency, and the feeling that you must always defend yourself so that you lose the calm required for discernment. When you are exhausted, you are more likely to say what you do not truly mean. When you are driven into survival mode, you are more likely to see everyone as an enemy. When your mind is filled with frightening scenarios, you may react to the present through wounds from the past. Therefore, the important battle is not only against what is happening outside you, but also to keep what is within you from being pulled out of balance. The adversary does not need to destroy your entire path if it can cause you to sabotage one door through one moment of lost control. This is why your calmness is not insignificant. It is a protective boundary around your future. I have given you the ability to return chaotic emotions to their proper place. This does not mean you must deny anger, sorrow, or disappointment. You are permitted to feel them, but they are not permitted to sit upon the throne and command your behavior. Self-control is the ability to look directly at anger and say, I recognize you, but you will not control my words. It is when fear appears, yet you still choose wisdom. It is when an old memory rises, yet you refuse to let the past determine how you treat the present. Maturity is not the absence of strong emotion, but possessing enough inner authority to place emotion beneath the guidance of truth. You do not need to destroy your feelings. You need only bring them into order. As you begin living from this new position, challenges may attempt to pull you back into old reactions. An unexpected argument may arise when you are already tired. Someone from the past may remind you of what you tried to forget. A seemingly careless remark may touch a wound that has not completely closed. There may be days when you feel exhausted without knowing why and become more easily irritated than usual. Do not immediately conclude that all your progress has been lost. Such moments merely reveal where you need greater care. Rest and awareness. Return to the 3-second pause. Place your feet firmly upon the ground. Breathe slowly and ask yourself, am I reacting to what is happening now, or to what happened before? One honest question can save you from repeating an old cycle. Remember also that self-control does not mean enduring injustice forever. After becoming calm, you may still speak, establish limits, and defend what is right. But your words will no longer carry the scent of revenge. You can state clearly that a behavior is unacceptable without humiliating the one who committed it. You can leave without causing further destruction. You can present the truth with evidence, composure, and a clear conscience. In doing so, you do not make yourself the executioner. You simply stand within your dignity and allow justice to follow its proper course. I am not calling you to become silent before wrongdoing. I am teaching you to speak from refined authority rather than from a wound that is still bleeding. Weapons aimed against you may still take many forms: slander, provocation, blocked doors, or circumstances designed to make you lose your composure. But a weapon gains power only when you provide the right environment for it. An insult fails when it cannot pull you from peace. A scheme weakens when you refuse to react according to the script prepared for you. A lie cannot define you while your upright life continues speaking. Something may be formed against you, but it does not have to fulfill its purpose. When you remain present and grounded, the emotional fuses planted within you will find no fire with which to ignite. Your self-control causes many plans to collapse before they can produce consequences. Therefore, the days when you viewed yourself as a victim begging for a few fragments of justice have ended. You do not need to chase every person and force them to understand you. You do not need to beg for validation from those who have chosen to view you through a distorted lens. The case has been handed over, and you are free to leave the courtroom within your mind. You do not leave as a prisoner waiting for someone else to declare you innocent. You leave as one who knows that truth is not destroyed merely because someone misrepresents it. From now on, stand upright within yourself. Preserve clean words. Act transparently, and allow time to reveal what you do not need to prove personally. True power is not the ability to make another person afraid, but the fact that no one can easily cause you to lose yourself. My child, every time you practice that pause, you strengthen the new person within you. You are no longer governed by urgency, no longer answering every invitation to conflict, and no longer allowing others to determine the rhythm of your heart. Use those 3 seconds as a gate. On one side is the old reaction, and on the other is freedom. On one side is the need to win the argument, and on the other is the ability to protect peace. On one side is the noise of pain, and on the other is the calm voice of authority. Every time you pass through that gate, you prove that what once hurt you is no longer your master. I rose to confirm this maturity. Now it is your turn to stand firmly. Not through shouting, but through a peace that is no longer easily shaken. You were not weak when you chose silence before false accusations. You only proved that your strength had matured to the point where it no longer needed to destroy someone else in order to protect itself. My beloved child, the world has long confused gentleness with helplessness. People often believe that anyone who does not immediately fight back has no voice, that anyone who does not answer an insult lacks courage, and that anyone who leaves an argument has lost. Yet I see deeper than appearances. There is a silence born from fear, but there is also a silence born from power. There is an endurance that exists because someone is afraid to stand. But there is also the restraint of one who knows they possess the ability to harm and still chooses to keep their hands clean. You learned this lesson at no small cost. And now, I want you to stop calling your self-control weakness. Imagine a powerful warhorse trained amid the noise of battle. It does not lose strength when it learns to stand still. Its muscles remain firm. Its legs can still move forward, and the energy within it is fully present. What has changed is that its strength no longer moves according to panic or impulsive reaction. It knows how to listen, wait for the right moment, and advance only when it receives clear direction. True gentleness is the same. It does not mean becoming small enough for others to trample upon you. It means mastering your anger, words, and ability to retaliate so that you do not turn pain into a weapon and place it into the hands of the next innocent person. I know there were times when you possessed enough truth to make those who wounded you feel ashamed. You could have revealed what they wanted hidden, used secrets they once entrusted to you, or chosen the exact words that would reach their weakest place. You possessed the ability, but you stopped, not because their lies were true, nor because you did not know how to defend yourself. You simply recognized that if you fought with the same darkness used against you, you would become no different from what you opposed. Therefore, you chose to let truth come into the light in a way that would not make you a prisoner of bitterness. This was not the posture of a doormat being walked upon. It was the stance of someone being prepared to carry greater responsibility. Even so, I am not telling you to remain silent before every injustice. There are times when you need to speak clearly, present evidence, seek support, and establish boundaries to protect yourself and others. Gentleness does not mean tolerating harmful behavior. Forgiveness does not erase every consequence. And peace does not require you to remain in a place that continually wounds you. What I am teaching you is to speak truth without allowing hatred to govern you. Protect dignity without seeking to destroy another person's dignity. And leave when necessary without carrying an endless war within your heart. The sword of discernment must still be used, but it should never be drawn merely to satisfy temporary anger. You passed a great test when you refused to allow insult to turn you into someone you did not want to become. Yet after the battle ended, part of you still did not recognize that the danger had passed. Outwardly, circumstances may have become calmer. The person who attacked you may no longer be near, and the situation that frightened you may have changed. But inwardly, you still startle at small sounds. Read messages repeatedly searching for danger, and prepare replies for arguments that have never occurred. You sit down to rest. Yet something within urges you to stand and do something. You feel guilty when you sleep longer, when you are not solving a problem, or when a day passes without a battle. My child, this is not proof that your faith is weak. It may be the mark of having lived too long in vigilance. When someone experiences prolonged stress, the body and mind may continue behaving as though danger is still present even after circumstances have become safer. You learn to scan every room to measure the mood of others. You learned to prepare for criticism before it was spoken. You learned not to sleep too deeply, relax completely, or rejoice too quickly, because you feared that something terrible would follow immediately after peace. These reactions once helped you survive a difficult season. So do not hate them. They are soldiers who protected you for too long and have not yet received the message that the war is over. Now, I am teaching you to send a new message throughout your entire being. You are no longer in the old place. You do not need to interpret every sound as a warning. You do not need to resolve every possibility before it happens. Begin with very small things. When you notice your shoulders becoming tense, gently release them. When your breathing becomes short and rapid, pause long enough to breathe in slowly and release the breath more deeply. When your mind creates frightening scenarios, do not immediately believe everything it says. Look around and name what is truly present in this moment. The door is closed. The room is quiet. You are allowed to rest. Such simple reminders help what is within you relearn the language of safety. I know rest may feel more uncomfortable than work, because busyness once helped you avoid feeling what had been buried. When you sit quietly, memories return. Old questions arise, and you may feel an urge to stand and escape the stillness. Do not force yourself to become peaceful immediately. Restoration is not a switch turned on in one night. It is like bringing a soldier home after a long period on the battlefield. The soldier needs time to understand that rain upon the roof is not the sound of an enemy approaching, that darkness outside the window is not an ambush, and that an ordinary day is not the silence before disaster. You must also be treated with such patience. Do not assume that every disturbance is something you must endure alone. If you frequently lose sleep, experience panic, remain exhausted, or cannot concentrate upon daily life, seek qualified help and support from trustworthy people. Receiving assistance does not deny your faith. It shows that you honor the life entrusted to you. Healing may come through prayer, rest, a safe conversation, new habits, and appropriate care. I do not require you to turn every pain into a test that you must overcome silently. Sometimes the greatest strength is admitting that you need a hand beside you. You must also learn how to receive goodness without immediately searching for a hidden price. During former seasons, every joyful moment may have been quickly interrupted. So now, when a good door opens, you become suspicious. When someone treats you sincerely, you wait for the day they will change. When you receive an opportunity, you assume you are about to be exposed as unqualified. When everything is stable, you search for a crisis. But, my beloved child, blessing is not a trap, and peace is not always the silence before a storm. Some peaceful days are simply peaceful days. Some people draw near not to use you, but to build something healthy with you. Some doors open because you have been prepared enough to enter. Therefore, allow yourself gradually to remove the armor that saved you during the season of battle, but now makes it difficult to embrace what is good. You do not need to discard discernment. You only need to stop treating everyone as a threat. You do not need to forget the lessons. You need only stop living as though the past is certain to repeat itself. True strength is not expressed only when you remain standing beneath attack. It is also revealed when you feel safe enough to become gentle, wise enough to trust one step at a time, and free enough to experience joy without apologizing for it. My beloved child, you have proved that you can keep the sword within its sheath when anger wants to control your hands. Now you must learn a new lesson: how to put down the sword when no battle remains before you. You were not created only to survive. You were called to live, love, build, and receive good things with a heart no longer continually shrinking in fear of being wounded. I am not merely bringing you out of the season of battle. I am teaching your entire being to recognize that you have entered a new land of peace. Move slowly, remain patient, and do not condemn yourself when former reactions occasionally return. Each time they do, gently remind yourself that the battle is over. You are here, and you are now allowed to rest within the safety I am building around you day by day.